What is going on, guys? Teen Charles Steven here, and today we're doing another video. I know it's been like maybe a month, I think, since the last video I had. Just been busy a lot with new work schedule and just some family stuff going on. So I'm back, guys. I'm today here with an old friend, old host with me, Shaloko, also known as Ying 83.
What's up, everybody?
And today our topic is My Hero Academia Season 2. We're going to talk about the first half, and we're going to talk about, I think there's only like 2 episodes on the second half of the season, and then what we think is going to happen ahead in the season. But we're going to try to keep it as low spoilers as we can.
And just to be fair, we also have not read the manga, so of course, this is what we think is going to happen further on down the season.
This is totally our own opinions. We've never read the manga. I think I read like maybe the tournament chapter, but that's about it. I didn't go any further. And speaking of the tournament arc, what do you think about it, man? Did you like it? I thought it was awesome.
Totally did not expect that to happen in the tournament arc.
Dude, just like, I don't know, just how Deku just like perseveres throughout that whole like arc was just super fucking awesome to me.
It was great.
And
I can't lie about that. It was great.
And you also got to see like other characters like being more developed as like the series went on. The tournament.
Yeah, you really did. You were able to see a lot more character development between Uraraka, Ida. You were able to see a lot of character development between all the characters. That's what made it great about this arc as well. Especially with oh man, I already forgot his name, and I feel bad now. This is one of my favorite animes. I'm already forgetting his name.
Which one are you talking about?
The one that they call the half one. I already forgot his name.
Todoroki?
Gosh, dang it. Yeah. The one that Bakugo calls the half. The half and half.
The half and half. You know, that's funny though. I don't know. I liked his part of the whole entire series. Shoto. There you go.
Shoto Todoroki.
Yeah, Shoto Todoroki. I really liked his how like his past was brought up in that season, and how like
that part. Yeah, dude, it was great. I didn't know anything. I didn't know all that was gonna happen to him, or all that actually happened to him. I mean, I know he had a scarred face, but I didn't know that's what actually happened to him.
Yeah, and then like in the first season, it kind of tells you, if you haven't seen the anime, in the first season it'll kind of tell you how, you know, a little bit of background of him is just like his mom's gone away, he hates his dad, and he wants to become the #1 hero and pass All Might. And so, like the second season, it shows you like even more of his past, and it's just so crazy what happens during his lifespan, till where he's at right now. And I thought that was probably one of the greatest, like, you know, background stories they had during that arc. And hopefully they'll expose more of it as the series goes on.
And I think they will. Because I mean, you can't not just introduce all these characters and not go through a lot of their backstories.
And then Tokoyami, the one who uses the Dark Shadow,
Oh man, he was cool.
He was the dark horse of the arc, in my opinion.
He was like he was the dark horse. I can't lie about that. He was like the biggest underdog in the entire show. To be honest with you, whenever they're doing what they were doing, looking for others, I was just like, oh, who are they gonna pick? I thought like somehow they were gonna manage to get their buddy Ida, but no, they come out with him. Sorry, spoilers. I feel like an idiot now.
It's all good. We'll try to keep it. I don't know. It depends. I mean, if we say spoilers, we're sorry. We'll probably just tell you that's a spoiler. We won't tell you, but we might tell you beforehand. It just depends. Sometimes we get a little too eager and we'll just say something, but you know, it doesn't bother me, or I hope it doesn't bother anyone who's listening to this fucking podcast. But
Hope not.
I think Lita. I like Lita's effort in the arc.
Oh yeah.
You know, some crazy stuff goes down at the end where it kind of leaves you like, whoa, what happened? Right before it starts into the second season, or the second part of the season. But I thought I thought he was doing real well in the tournament. I liked how he used his brains and all that. And honestly, this is a spoiler. When he's fighting that who is it? The girl who's part of the she's not a hero, but she does like all the.
She's a support. She's a support hero.
The support
She's
hero.
Like sidekick.
Dude, that was so funny. I felt so bad for him because he just got played like so bad.
I know, it was so funny though. Like I really like how they did Ida's character. Like I was really what's the name of that girl? Like I said, I really watched these shows like a while back, and I already completely forget the names of the characters. I feel so bad.
Trying to find her, dude.
Man, you said that was yours too. You claimed her and everything, and nope, you don't even remember her.
Hey, dude, you're hating, right?
It's like all I know is I already called greens on Uraraka, so better luck on that.
Apparently, Shako likes Uraraka so much. It's funny.
Well, I mean, I've never really seen people like Uraraka as much. They like Suyu. I believe it is. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Suyu?
The frog. I think that's her name.
Okay, yeah. Mei. Her name's Mei. The support character's name is Mei. Man, I thought she was funny as hell during the whole fucking series. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I liked her episode whenever she fought. The episode in which she fought in. Oh man. She didn't even fight.
Dude, that's the funny part. That's the Lita one, right?
That's whenever he yeah.
Dude, I feel so bad.
It's like you're saying he did get played because she didn't even fight.
I thought Hiroshi Shinso, he's the one who did the he'll brainwash you when you talk to him and stuff. I thought that was probably one of the greatest fights that he was in.
His power is nice. I like that power.
Yeah, you talk and then you're fucking brainwashed. Like, what the fuck? It's almost like it's almost as if like you're looking into like a shotgun gun. It's kind of like that, but you use verbal words instead of looking into someone's eye.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought was really cool. I really did like his power. Like, I mean, that's freaking crazy. How the heck does that happen?
Dude, I don't know.
And of course, and believe it or not, I give it that it is kind of a villain's power at the same time.
You really think? I don't know. It could be a villain's power.
It could be. But I mean, he's training to be a hero, so I'll give him that.
It's kind of hard, though. I mean, like, I still think some characters are going to turn villain. That's just my suspicion. I don't know if that ever happens.
Bakugo.
Yeah, Bakugo. I think he turns villain. For sure. Kachan.
Deku!
Oh, man. Honestly, I think he was the funniest character of that arc, the tournament arc. Just not because of his, like, jokes or anything, but the way he acted on some of the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Just the way he acted.
Just always screaming. At the end when he's brushing his teeth and like screaming about cleaning his teeth, I thought that was funny, dude. I thought legit that was the funniest thing ever.
Stop yelling in the morning.
It's like he
really was.
That's horrible. You wake up yelling, you stay yelling. That's the life of Bakugo.
Bakugo. It's the life of Katsuki Bakugo. No, it's not Katsuki. It's a...
Pinche Kacha.
I'm just gonna say...
Gotcha.
But with the introduction of that new villain, was it Stain, I believe? I think that's going to be like a good...
dude, I don't... yeah, it's going to be a good one.
This arc.
Like, I'm more excited for the villain than I was the tournament arc. Like, once the tournament arc was going down, like, to the end, and they started, like, hinting about the new villain, I was like, alright, fuck the tournament arc, let's rush this shit, and let's hit this villain. Because I really want to know what's going on.
I do too. I was like, oh, I want to know what's going to happen now, and then all that, everything that's going on now. It's fixing to go down in these next episodes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Oh man, I freaking hate cliffhangers so much. That cliffhanger at the end of episode 2 of
two.
the second half of season 2.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I,
that really got me mad.
no spoilers for that one. That's too early for us to even spill the beans on. But jumping from the tournament arc, if you haven't seen the tournament arc, we're not gonna say who won or what happens or what's gonna happen. You know, just bits and pieces that you just heard. You know, that's just how it is. But
I'm
jumping
trying to
into
keep this free as possible.
spoiler free as possible because we can go probably like a good 3 hours talking about the tournament arc itself with
Oh
spoilers.
yeah, we really could.
With spoilers, I mean, it's pretty hard for us to like hold back. And even though we watched the anime, like we're also human, so we don't know as many of the characters' names. Because usually there's just a core base of characters, and then there's just like the characters
Not sure.
you're kind of fond
Not
of,
sure. Yeah.
or some you don't like. Like I don't like the dude with the squishy balls, the little purple, little small dude.
Dude, he's like, believe it or not, dude, he's like the most hated character.
I think he's just hated because he's a pervert, and then like he's super like useless. Because like if he tears the balls too much from his head, like he'll start bleeding and just like space out. I like
It's like the dude with the lightning.
the belt, the
If
one
you-
where he's just flashing his fucking belt and gets his tummy ache. Is it that one? Or am I?
No. The dude, no, that's the guy that shoots the. That's the guy that has that belly button laser. But I'm talking about the guy that actually like generates electricity.
Oh yeah. He's always like chewing on a battery or something.
But if he, what do you call it? You not hear what happens whenever he uses too much of his power.
Doesn't he?
Just
Oh, he
goes
goes dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes. I like that guy too. He's just straight up funny too.
I think
Like, he has this funny moment.
I think it's Denki. Yeah. Yeah. Denki. That's his name. Denki
He's really
Kaminari. How sad is that?
he's one of my favorite characters out of the show. Like, he just has that. He has that vibe. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, he has that like vibe that he's one of the funny characters.
Oh man. Yeah, moving on to the second season or the second part of the second half of the season. Now that the tournament arc has passed, they do get called by agencies, and you're kind of just wondering, you know, is Deku gonna get called by agency? That's what I was thinking, because you know I thought he did outstanding for the tournament, but then also he couldn't control his power like the others, so I kind of understood why, you know.
Why he really wouldn't get called on
Yeah,
or
or
anything.
people are afraid.
I know what you mean.
Because he might kill himself. That's like the crazy part. He's like, he has this power that's so great, but if you don't know how to use it, you can like
Seriously,
literally kill yourself.
And that's what they warned him about too. He had to learn to use, and that's what All Might and his teacher told him, says you have to learn how to use it, otherwise it's just, what's the point?
Speaking of All Might, I like how he hasn't said anything about his former, you know, the person who handed down his power, you know, the stories about them. Like, it's so quiet right now. I'm pretty sure they'll explain it later on, but like when they give us little hints and bits, it's kind of annoying because like you want a full story into it. You don't want to just wait like another, you know, like wait for another arc to happen.
No, you don't want him to wait like another 3 years just to figure out what happened. I mean, of course, I know the manga's out right now, and I really want to read it too.
Yeah, it's tempting to read, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I want to keep this anime where I can just like not worry about the ending and what's already happening, and then just wait for the animation form. Just wait for the animation form itself, and then be surprised as a whole. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm saying me, but of course, like me and you are totally different. Because to be honest with you, I really like reading the manga because I like to figure out what's gonna happen next.
Okay, so I did that with Naruto, Fuka, and a couple other animes, and it's like it's not as pleasing when you see the animation. It's because you already know what happens. You just want good animation, and that's why I don't like to. Don't get me wrong, like Naruto is probably my favorite anime of all time. I could watch that 100-fold over and like not get tired of it. But when I read the ending and what happened on Naruto, and just waiting for all the fillers and stuff to happen, that was probably the worst part. Was like it wasn't even enjoying anymore. It was more or less just like a burden of waiting for the ending to come in animation. So I don't want that to happen to me on My Hero Academia. And maybe people can relate to that. I don't know if people do. People may just enjoy the animation, the manga, and everything in itself, and like they don't really care about the ending. But for me, like, I think it's more of a burden to know the ending and then wait for the animation and then have to go through fillers, different arcs that maybe are not like apparent, like really like related to the manga. It's just kind of just a throw off arc so they can just like make more money, because that's what really like fillers are for, just to make more money, in my opinion. Because I think if you dub down all the fillers in Naruto, it wouldn't be 500 episodes. Not Shippuden. Like, if Shippuden would not be 500 episodes without fillers, it'd be like a good 225. And then Naruto itself, without fillers of Naruto, is a good, I think it's like a good 100 episodes instead of 220.
Wait a minute, there's fillers in the old one?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's 15 years ago. They're fillers. I think my long-standing...
I remember watching it, but I don't remember watching the fillers, that's why.
Yeah, I tend to skip the fillers. Bleach, I did the same. But... Okay, back to My Hero, because we just got into mad conversation about that.
Yeah.
Second season, they got their agencies. Of course, Deku, Uraka, Bakugo, Todoroki, Lita, they all get, assigned to agencies. What's really good about Deku, this is a spoiler, is that he got called upon by a character named Gran Torino, which I think is probably one of the greatest like hero names on that show, in my opinion.
It really is. I like how they did that, though. I really do.
I think it's a Clint Eastwood reference. It has to be.
Not necessarily. A Gran Torino is an old car. They could be meaning it as a thing like, oh, he's an old hero.
Yeah, but like,
don't get me wrong.
Clint Eastwood was the old hero back in the day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so,
I do get that reference.
So when I heard the reference, I didn't think of the car because I know there is a car named after that, but I did think of Clint Eastwood. Don't get me wrong.
That's the first thing I thought of too. The first thing I thought of was Clint Eastwood.
And like, if you younger generations, you don't know Clint Eastwood, go look him up on YouTube, and do yourself a fucking favor, because if you don't know who the fuck Clint Eastwood is, especially if you live in the United States, and you live in the state of Texas, you might as well just get the fuck out, because he's one of the greatest actors ever and one of the baddest motherfuckers in all his movies.
Don't worry, I've had a family member that doesn't know who Chuck Norris is.
Let's save that for another rant. But yeah, they introduced that new character, and what's funny is he knows the predecessor of All Might, and he taught All Might at the academy. So it's like
he only taught for 1 year.
Only taught for 1 year, and it was just for All Might, in my opinion. And
probably right.
And wow, first impression of him, not good. Let's just say that.
I like that episode. I like that first impression though.
Because it's like, All Might's just beefing him up, like he's the hype man, like he's hyping everything up. And then like as soon as you see him, it's like, what the fuck? And what's so funny is All Might is scared that he didn't teach Deku enough. That's what I thought was so funny. Like, I wonder what he'll think of my teachings and my failure, this and that. Like, he was, like, shitting bricks. And I thought that was fucking funny. Because, like, seeing All Might just, like, scared is really weird. Because, like, he portrays himself as, like, a big, beefy dude. If you haven't watched the anime, I won't tell you anything else. But he's just, like, a big, strong guy. And, just using the one for all. And to him to, like, that kind of scared during that moment was kind of, like icing on the cake for me. Like, I thought that was funny, because you never really see that side of All Might unless it's like one of the little personal scenes with Deku or something. But that part was pretty funny for me.
I like All Might's character, but I think he's a little, well, I can't say overrated. So I mean, he is one of the greatest heroes of all time. But I do like All Might's character though. Do
you think he's from America? By the way, he says his words like Detroit
Smash.
Smash.
Yeah, That's the first thing I thought of too. Whenever I first saw him and hear him saying Detroit Smash and Texas Smash and all that, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, is this guy from America?
This is completely a hypothesis, or theory. I guess you can call it theory. My theory
I'm gonna
is
say All Might's from Texas.
yeah, no, not at all. I don't think he's from Texas. If he is, then like that's super cool. But I think like maybe he had a quirk, or he didn't have. Oh well, fuck. I'm not gonna say anything. But oh god, I just caught myself in a fuck it spoiler. He didn't have a quirk, right? That's one for all. Okay, it's gonna get passed down if you do see the.
Well, because I mean, if you haven't, it's in season 1. So if you haven't seen season 1, then yeah, you won't know that. But it's in season 1 that one for all is passed down.
It's a passed down thing, and my theory on him is that he's from the United States because there is a military base in Japan. If the creator does go off that reference of the real world, there is a military base in Japan. Maybe he was his parents were American that were living in Japan. He went to the school, became, the greatest hero of all time, and now he just lives in Japan, knows Japan and English. That's why he's always saying Detroit Smash or like, English language sometimes. That's just my theory. It's a really like, out of left field theory, but I think it's a pretty good theory.
And who knows? You may be right.
If I'm right, I'm the actual writer of My Hero.
Shut up. Get out of here.
But yes.
If you're the actual writer of My Hero, then what's going to happen next? No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone dies. Everyone dies. Spoiler
okay,
alert.
George R. Martin.
Let's see. Oh, is that the Game of Thrones guy?
Yeah.
That reference? Fuck Game of Thrones. I've never watched it.
Neither have I.
I'm just trashing on it. But the first impression of Gran Torino was, it was funny, but also just sad. And I heard it on the IGM Anime Club on Facebook. If anyone does ever like watch my videos from that thing, hello guys, thank you for watching. One of them said that he looked like Yoda because he has a little cane. He's small as fuck. Like Gran Torino's like 3 feet tall. I'm not even fucking lying. He's a midget. Legit a midget. He's walking with the fucking cane. At least it wasn't like a Star Wars episode, I think it's 6, when Luke goes meets Yoda and he's all fucking off the walls crazy eating fucking food and shit.
No, that's episode 5.
Episode 5, there you go.
Episode 5.
Fuck, dude. Sorry for all the Star Wars fans out there, I let you down. I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt too, how fucking depressing. It's fucking depressing, dude. This is what happens when they start adding new movies to Star Wars. Is that it's like I fucking fuck up the episodes.
Just forget about him already.
Yeah, but honestly, in that part, I think he is Yoda, because when he's eating like sweets and shit, going all hardcore, ready for fucking like feast time, and always taking naps, I think that's the Yoda part of him, and then also like how he trains Deku. Even though there's only 2 episodes out for that season, I can already tell that like he does have that Yoda vibe just by like teaching the way Deku should do. Maybe he's gonna leak out some past of the predecessor of All Might. Maybe that's gonna happen during the season. What do you think's gonna happen during this next half of the season? The next 10 episodes, I guess.
I really have to agree with you on that. I really do think he's gonna let something slip about All Might's past. They're gonna let. Of course, we already know what's gonna happen with the new villain. That fight's gonna be freaking awesome. I mean, you cannot already know that there's gonna be a fight in My Hero.
Man.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler. The way it is. There's gonna be fights.
Yeah, I think. But will you think it will finish on this season, or do you think we're gonna have to wait like another 2 or 3 months for like the next season to come out to finally figure out the ending of everything? Like
depending on how far the manga goes, how far the manga creator takes it.
No, I'm talking about like the villain, like the villain stage of it.
The villain?
Yeah. Not like the actual
It,
series. I think the actual series is going to be like a 10-year run. It's like a typical shonen. It's going to be here for a while. Like, that's just my opinion. Or maybe it might be like a... maybe like shonens are changing now. Like, they're not as long as they used to be. They're not going to be long-running 20-year, writings. Maybe this one's just like a good 2 or 3 years.
who knows? They may okay, as back to the villain. I kind of think they may lead it off to the end to the next season.
You think so? You think it's going to
That's
leave
just
us on a giant cliffhanger? Because they've been doing that
it
the
won't
past
lead,
couple episodes.
it won't lead us on a giant cliffhanger, but I think they'll may lead to something. But I think they'll do whatever they need to do against the villain, and the other villains just come in and save, and then the next thing you know, we're at another cliffhanger. Because now we want to know what the villains are planning or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll probably be something like that.
I think, like, the upcoming episodes, I think we see the death of All Might.
You think so?
Oh, dude, I'm calling it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna call it right now. I think that he...
Doesn't happen. You owe me $20. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus, man. We can do something. We can
I'm
do
just
something
kidding.
like that if you want. We can throw a bet in.
All right. We'll go like this. All Might dies in the next. Okay. If All Might dies in this season, I'll give you $20. We'll do something like that. I'm down if you're down.
I'm down, dude. I'll throw you $20 when I see you. If I have to, if I lose, yeah, I'm down. Okay, it's YouTube official. YouTube official right here. But yeah, I literally think he might die. I don't think he has really long to live. His duration of him being in All Might form is like getting shorter and shorter.
It's getting shorter and shorter. Yeah.
And
I mean, who knows? They may not know his actual form whenever he's not using one for all.
Oh yeah.
But so they may not go after him, but who knows? You never know what will happen. Maybe they'll find out sooner or later what's actually going on, and then, hey, let's go beat this guy up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They may do that. They may not. Anything can happen.
I'm pretty sure the hero stain or the hero killer stain will. I think he'll be defeated. As if it follows every shonen, like before it, like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach. They're gonna defeat like the first real villain, or maybe he pulls like a Bleach where, Aizen, like when Aizen escapes, and he just becomes more powerful towards the series. Maybe Stain becomes like that.
That's what I think's gonna. Yeah, that's what I think was gonna happen. Like the other villains are gonna help him out, pull him out, and do something like that. That's what I think will happen, in my opinion.
See, but I don't think he likes the villains. I don't think his ideals and their ideals are the same. So that's where I think, like, they might not get together. Maybe it'll be an all-out brawl for me. I think, like, it's going to be a really bad shitstorm. And, maybe Gran Torino dies. That's a real possibility in the coming season. Or the upcoming 10 weeks. That we're going to have to endure. Like, that's...
How many episodes were in the last?
I think 12 or 13, maybe 15. It was a long season for the first part of the second season.
I know the first season was 13 episodes, but I'm saying was it really 12 or 13?
For the next one?
Usually they go 20. Yeah, this past one. Like the tournament arc, was it? I think it was 13, wasn't it?
I think it was
13 episodes.
16 episodes, dude.
There's no way it was 16.
1, 2, 3.
I'll take a look at it later. I think if they go right, they'll have another 25 episodes. I think there's still like 11 episodes left in the season.
14. Okay, so yeah, it went 12. It went 12 episodes. Okay, I was tripping.
So I think they do either. Usually those episodes are like 24, 25.
So
if you're lucky, we'll get to 26.
So we're looking at about like a good 10, 11 more
episodes left of the season.
So about these 10 or 11 weeks. This is just my theory alone. I think Deku can like control his power better at the end of the season, but it's not gonna be nowhere near as it should be.
All Might's level strength, yeah.
Yeah. I think Gran Torino does die. I think All Might does die, and then that's where I think we jump into the next season, where Deku's finally on his own. Now he has to conjure up his own ideals. instead of
Of how to use his powers. Yeah, that may actually happen.
instead of going off like everyone else's ideals. Maybe like this is where he finds himself finally, and becomes like the greatest hero because he's narrating the story, as I noticed.
And and he drops like the biggest spoiler of all in the freaking first episode.
Yeah. So that's just my theory. I don't know. And like the narration of him doing it, I think that's awesome. It's kind of like How I Met Your Mother, but in a non like comical form. It's like a serious form. It's like a horrible reference to say, but like you basically I'm How I Met Your Mother. If you've ever watched the show, it's just like a narration of everything. And who knows? Maybe they'll take a break from the series. They'll make like a couple off movies here and there, or like they're going to go with the story, but it's just like it's not. It's optional to watch it. Maybe
You're probably not.
There probably will be a My Hero movie. I hope it does.
The creator just, who knows? If the creator decides to write like a separate piece, like others have, like if he decides to pull a Reki Kawahara and write like how Reki Kawahara, the guy who created Sword Art Online, did the Ordinal Scale movie. Because Ordinal Scale is not in the books; it's its own little thing. It's like, who knows? He may pull off a My Hero Academia movie, something like that. Who knows?
Who knows, dude? There's a lot of possibility. I think if it doesn't run out of funding, if it doesn't lose any interest from the mass populations.
Oh no, there is no way people will lose interest in My Hero Academia. This show is so popular.
I think it's taken over Japan by storm. It's taking the U.S. by storm almost every week, in my opinion. I hear more and more of my friends, finally watching it, finally getting around to it, and them just enjoying it. Like they're eating the episodes up. And
see, this is one of the shows that me and my brother-in-law talk about a lot. We both watch it. I mean, he watches all these other ones like One Piece and whatnot. I'm like, too many episodes. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm too far behind. But this is something that we can both watch since it's so short and it's barely starting out now.
Yeah, if you gotten this far into the podcast, I highly recommend you start this anime now
and get caught up on the hype train.
Get caught up on the hype train, so it won't be like a One Piece or Naruto. Like I got into Naruto, but it took some man-hours to get to where I was. To get updated to the newest season that just ended, Naruto Shippuden, and then now into Boruto. It took me about like a good 4 or 5 months. And that's starting from Naruto all the way to like I think episode 416 is where I finally caught up to like week by week basis. So I'd rather everyone who's like listening now, if you're still listening, watch My Hero Academia right now. Like you're only behind really like a season and a half.
You're really not far behind.
You're like a season and a half behind.
Behind like 25 episodes maybe.
And
which is not bad at all.
I think we're on episode 28, 29. So, you're like, if you knock out 6 episodes, 3 hours a day, you can get it done in about like 8 days. Really, if you think about it. It's like an 8-day catch up. But if you go on your own time.
Or unless you just want to binge watch the whole entire first season in like 6 hours, you can do that too.
I'll tell you this. Season 1 episode, I think by episode 4 or 5, it got me hooked. Like, that's where I was just like, I just need to keep watching. Like, I just need to keep watching. Like, I would hate going to bed not knowing what happened next episode. So.
See, and then for my case, I kept hearing how good this anime was, so whenever it dropped on DVD, I went ahead and bought it. It's like it was my first time watching it, so I was like, I'm just gonna buy the DVD. I don't even care. Bought it, binge watched it, fell in love with it, and was like, all right, when does season 2 start?
Yeah, okay, so season 2 was gonna begin like I think a month before, and then so I was like, great, I have a month to watch the first season of My Hero, and then that would give me, that would give me a timeline of like 2 weeks to whether if I can actually want to watch the second season. It's not like if I wanted to. It's if like, if I felt like I wanted to. Like would the anime, pierce enough of my cold-hearted heart and like bring me nostalgia, like warmth and shit, and it did. Just put it like in that weird term. A lot of animes haven't done that for me. You know, like personal ones have. I think Code Geass did that to me. Berserk,
You're
not
welcome, by the way.
yeah. Thanks for that one. Berserk, not the new seasons. Well, that's another podcast for another time.
Everybody hates the new season. Of the new series.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z when I was like 7, Naruto, and a couple other animes. But like, you know, not a lot of anime will catch my attention. But this one certainly caught my attention by storm. I didn't listen to the dub. If you're a dub fan, that's super awesome. I heard that there's like the dubbing's super great, which I think that's awesome.
It really is.
You know, people who don't like subs, I totally understand. You know, maybe it's hard for you to like read and watch at the same time because you'll miss like certain parts of the fighting or like an actual like.
And then you also got to take into account the people that just like to hear it for the background noise. They also ask for dubs as well.
Yeah, that's also a great thing about dub. If you're English, like a primary English speaker, or anywhere, you know, maybe if you're like a Spanish speaker and they do like the dubbing for Spanish or French, this and that, you know, it's great for us because as a whole, we don't have to like, you know, we can take our eye off for a minute and still understand what they're saying. Whereas in like the sub version, if you're not really a Japanese speaker and you only pick up on like 2 or 3 words of Japanese, because I know a lot of anime fans do that. We know a little bit of Japanese. That's just because of anime. Like we know like the bare minimum. So, but if you really want to get into it, if you're a dub fan, the dubbing's great. I heard. If you're a sub fan, definitely watch the sub. I love the voices. And
to be honest with you, they kind of sound similar.
Do they?
Like I don't know if you've heard the. I don't know if you've heard the dub or this. I'm not sure if you've heard the dub yet.
No, I haven't.
But they kind of sound similar a bit.
I think okay, that's awesome because I know some animes do sound like that, like where you get the same vibe as a sub and dub, and I think that's super awesome for the community in whole, you know, because maybe like someday maybe you just suck up one day and be like, oh, I hate dubbed, and you finally watch it, and you're like, hey, they got the same characteristics as the sub. Like I think that's good for the anime community as a whole, so it can kind of just like split the difference between sub versus dubbed. Because honestly, I think any anime that's subbed and dubbed, people are going to like it because of the artistic view of it, not because of the voiceovers. That's in my opinion. I think you have to love anime in the artistic form of it and not, you know, hate it because of the voiceovers. If it's artistic enough for me, I'll watch it. If it's a bad dub, that's okay, as long as I get the storyline and the artistic expression of the anime in itself. But that's just me in general. I don't know about y'all.
Everybody's different.
Everyone's different. You know, maybe people just go for the subbed and dub, which is totally fun. Each to their own.
So, I mean, there are animes that have like the most awesome subs, and there's like animes that have the most awesome dubs, like Full Metal. Everybody loves Full Metal's dub. And Code Geass. Everybody loves Code Geass's dub. Just depend, but yeah, it always depends on the preferences. But My Hero Academia, you know, it's both ways. A lot of people love them both.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I think it's one of the best. If not, the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of the costumes for My Hero? I don't really like Deku's, personally. But...
What? You don't like Deku's?
Nah, dude. At first, it kind of tripped me out. I'm not even gonna lie. I was kind of tripped out. I was just... It's like a bunny, isn't it? Like, he looks like a fucking bunny. To me.
I know what you mean.
And I don't like the color green. Let's just... okay, maybe the biggest knot on it is that, like, I hate the color green. So, like, the whole green suit does not give me a good vibe. Like, I just don't like it.
But I like how it's supposed to mimic All Might just a little bit, but I get what you're saying, though, too.
I like the Todoroki's outfit. Like, it's just chill, nothing, like, spazzy. Bakugo's over the top, in my opinion, with the grenade hands.
That was cool.
It's cool, but it's over the top, in my opinion. Like, if I was a hero, I could not wear stuff like that. I think I would need like,
Like everybody says, it looks more villain-like than it does hero.
yeah, like I would definitely think that'd be a villain for sure. You know, maybe he's the Sasuke of My Hero, and it's either
Like
that or
everybody says,
Todoroki, and maybe one of them's the Obito. Who fucking knows? But I really think like Bakugo is probably the next, you know, Vegeta, Sasuke. Um, it's like one of those characters that like transcends hero and villain. Like they're both in the same like water, or he's in the same sides. Like he's both villain and hero. In my opinion, like maybe like he becomes villain later on and then becomes a hero again. Deku saves him from the darkness. You know, that's a possibility. You know, maybe he turns villain and, you know, kills off like his classmates.
no. Let's just agree that's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying, dude, it
they,
might happen.
they won't do that. I don't think they'll do that.
Well, it
To be
depends how
honest
dark
with
they
you,
want to be. I'm a dark person, so
you are a dark person.
like I think like shit will go down. I think everyone's gonna die. Like I'm just calling off the bad people who are gonna die. Not giving anyone a chance. Like All Might fucking dead. Gran Torino, that fool's old, fucking dead. Like I do like the cliffhangers, but at the same time I don't like the cliffhangers of it. Do you?
It depends on the show for me.
Well, in My Hero speaking terms, this is just,
My Hero, I hate cliffhangers.
dude, are you kidding? Like it just makes you more pumped up for Saturday. Cause
It does make me more pumped up, but I really do hate cliffhangers so much.
they air on Saturdays like at 2 or 3 in the morning, but if you have Crunchyroll Premium, you'll have them. But if you don't have Crunchyroll Premium, you're gonna have to wait like another week. And I know they're dubbed by Funimation, so maybe Funimation does same day dubs. I don't
No,
know.
they had to stop that. I looked on the Facebook page; they had to stop that recently because it got harder and harder for them to do it.
Which is totally understanding though.
You know, and then I started laughing because someone commented, "So Funimation's being lazy?"
Oh
And I
man.
was like, "No, believe it or not, there's still a whole lot of work they have to go through to do the same day dubs."
Yeah, it's like the
You know,
licensing, like the multiple takes.
like it's yeah, exactly. They say that Japan gets them like 2 weeks before Funimation does, before they air.
Mm-hmm.
And then during those 2 weeks, then they send them to Japan, and then then they send them to Funimation, and it's like, oh, okay. And then Funimation has 2 weeks to prepare to get it ready by the same day the Japan's gonna air it. Same day Japan's gonna air it.
And that's what's
So,
it's like
it,
it's a gift and a curse. Like people,
it's hard, and I agree with them. That's really hard to do too. Like you cannot lie about that. It's cool and all, but man, imagine it. They go through a lot of work to do that.
oh dude, it's so rough. I think it's rough. Like, you know, even for the voice actors, because like, okay, so me and Chow go into Comic-Con. We saw Johnny Young Bosch, who's a great, you know, voiceover for many dubbed animes. Code Geass, Bleach. What's Trigun, right?
Yeah, Trigun.
You know, and he was saying that like even like they go through some tough times. Like maybe their voice will go out in the middle of a recording session, and that could take a week because your voice is a muscle. So if it's already strained, you know, you're not just gonna take a day off and expect your voice to like, you know, be ready for another 8-hour screaming session or, you know, crying session or yelling match that like many of the voiceovers have to do, like during arguments, fighting. Like I'm pretty sure to do one fight scene, like there's probably a lot of like micro errors that we don't know about, but like the people who produce it know about, and they'll have to redo that take like 15 times. And you know, 15 times of yelling and screaming and like, you know, maybe have to cry during that match is like, that's rough on the voice. And so
sorry to say, but whenever you say Funimation's being lazy for not wanting to do the same day dubs anymore,
yeah, you're
y'all guys
insane.
are sorry.
You're insane.
Yeah.
because like
So
I'm
that's
pretty
the
sure
tough
no
work.
one can do what they do. Like if I try to voice over My Hero Academia, they wouldn't watch the fucking show. No one would watch the show because I don't have that talent. You know, you have to have that talent, but you also have to be gracious with the talent of your voice, because your voice can go at any moment and you can ruin your career. So like that, and that part of it, like the same day dubs, as easy as they sound, they're not really that easy.
They really are hard to pull off because, like I said, they have to get everything ready on the same day, and they only have 2 weeks to prepare. You have to do so many takes. You have to do this. You have to do that. I understand where they're coming from on that. I really do.
Not to mention, not to mention the funding side of it, because like you know,
Oh yeah,
like I'm pretty sure it's a lot of cash to even get the licensing of My Hero to Funimation, and
thing and right. But the licensing is they last for a while though. Like whenever Darker Than Black season twos, like their licensing lasted to like I think they lost it like 2 years ago.
mm-hmm.
Like the licensing lasts for a long while. Once it's gone, that means they can't sell any of the products. That means they can't do this. That means they can't do that. But for now, it's still.
And I think also like
So they have the licensing. So they still have licensing for My Hero, but they just have to do this and that.
and also I think it also corresponds with like the voiceover people. Like
Yeah,
many of them might have contract disputes in the middle of the fucking season because, you know,
because who knows? They may be working with another company. They may be.
yeah, you can be a Viz Media, you can be doing a voiceover Viz Media, and it might like, you know, the two might actually collide by accident. You know, maybe you have to do the same voiceovers for different characters on different days, and you know that's a lot of strain on the voice also. You know, trying to do one character who's maybe a high pitched voice to maybe like to a different character who's, you know, kind of like a Bakugo, or Kachan. I'll just say Kachan because I'm butchering his fucking last name. You know, Kachan who's always fucking yelling, and maybe going to like a Hinata voice where it's really high pitched and it's just really like, you know, strenuous on your voice. You know, doing those types of things is really fucking hard in my opinion. And you know, maybe like one day Viz Media is like, hey, you know, if you're gonna keep voicing for Funimation, we're not gonna allow you to be on this voiceover anymore. And so maybe they're gonna like that could happen also. Maybe unlikely, but that's also a really good option, or an option for the wait on the same day dub. So what they do like every other week, or I guess like they're a week later for Funimation
Like
dubs.
right now, the Funimation dub is not until I think the end of this month. Like the first dub episode doesn't come until the end of this month.
And
So
I think the dub version is on Crunchyroll also for My Hero.
of the tournament arc, yeah.
The tournament arc too. Wow.
My Hero, yeah. I think Crunchyroll keeps up with it too.
So I mean, if you have Crunchyroll or Funimation, I think they do the sub for Funimation also. So don't worry about that. If you just like, oh snap, I have to go to Crunchyroll for the sub. No, they do also do subs for Funimation. It's just Funimation also does the dub. That's the plus side of having Funimation for My Hero. Well, I don't know if it's a plus now because Crunchyroll also does dubs, but who fucking knows? But what do you think's gonna
For all I
happen?
know, I could be wrong.
What do you
What I
think's
think
gonna
will
happen?
happen?
Because we went through my theories and stuff, and I want to kind of hear your little side.
Oh man, I think they're all gonna live. I think Gran Torino's gonna live. I think All Might's gonna live. But of course, this will probably be a big turning point for Deku. I think something will happen this season that'll bring about some changes in the series. He's gonna have to wisen up a little bit more now, a little bit faster.
Well, they kind of foreshadow it
now.
if you think about
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
because when they're all leaving for the agencies, he's like, "This." I'm not gonna say what happens, but when they're leaving for their agencies, like there's a point in the scene where like the narrator, which is the older Deku, says, "This is the part where like I regret the most," you know, and you're like, "Fuck."
Mhm.
Like it hits you, you're like, oh god, like something's about to go down, We don't know what yet, but it's gonna go.
This next part of the season is going to be some big character developing moments for Todoroki, for Ida, for
I think Lita the
Deku.
most. Lita's gonna have the most character
Yeah.
development on this season. No spoilers because we don't want to do that. We're just gonna say Lita has a really big part on the end of the tournament arc to now, and I think it's only gonna grow more. Maybe
So I'm going to give.
maybe he turns into a villain. I'm not gonna say. That's just my opinion only.
And you're probably. Who knows, dude? You may be right. But I still highly doubt that. But like, don't get me wrong, I doubt the fact that Ida would be a villain. But who knows? From what I think what will happen now is, I think by the end of the season, Bakugo is gonna have like a little change of heart, like he'll, like just from the opening, like kind of how, like, well, sorry if you haven't seen the opening, but like how it shows like he's not, like it shows everybody else, and then it goes to Bakugo, like everybody's thinking of someone else, like Uraraka's thinking of herself, the girl with the quirk, the lady with the quirk that creates thinking of Shoto. And then it goes to Bakugo, and Bakugo's thinking of Deku. So I think he's probably, who knows, he may have like a change of heart pretty soon.
Turns into big ol' yaoi.
Yuri!
Deku! Kacha-han!
Who knows, man?
Yeah,
Who knows?
Who knows, dude? I don't know. I haven't really shipped anyone on that show yet, but I don't want to.
I can already tell you, the only people I'm shipping are the girl with the ability to create, and Shoto, and then Uraraka and Deku. That's like a for sure ship.
Maybe.
And then there's those people that ship Uraraka and Bakugo, and I'm like, no.
Never know, man.
I know.
That's just
And then
one
I
of those
think
things.
And then now I just thought of that stupid meme with Soldier 76 as it goes. Remember how he has his ult and it says, I got you in my sights. It's a picture of him that says, I don't want that shit in my sights.
Oh my god. Oh, man.
It's a funny meme, but I don't know, dude. This season's getting better. This part of the season's getting better and better. And I really do think something's gonna happen that changes a lot of these characters.
Oh yeah,
But
totally.
to be honest with you, it's already happening. They're already changing. Don't get me wrong about that. But to be honest with you, I do not think that. I for sure do not think that All Might or Gran Torino are gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Life.
Team Life.
Team Life.
Man.
They won't die.
But we're gonna go ahead and start closing this out, guys. But I do want to talk about one thing before we close everything out, is the music. I think the music for My Hero is dope, like the opening and endings for both seasons and for the half season, the tournament arc and the new.
I can tell you this right now. I already have the. I've sent y'all screenshots, so I'm pretty sure you already know it. I have the opening theme and I have the two opening themes from the first season and the beginning of the second.
Yeah.
On my phone, I listen to them all the time.
Man, I love the music. I think the music's great.
It really is. It's great music. It's such a good show.
Yes, and on that note, thanks for watching, guys. We're going to go ahead and end this little mini podcast. I guess it's not mini podcast. I think we're pushing an hour. But
were you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Time flies when you're talking about something you like, man.
I can't lie about that there.
Tune in next time, guys. I don't know when we're going to, maybe we'll have an end of the season discussion. I'm pretty sure we will because the bet is pretty much sealed. So that end of the season discussion.
Yeah, we have to do a podcast for that.
That end of the season discussion will be all spoilers. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to lay it out on the ground. We're going to spoil it up.
I'll drop it now. Drop it now.
We're dropping it like it's hot. That's what's going to happen. Shit's just going to fly out of our mouths like no one's business. But
So if you haven't caught up now, I hope you get caught up now.
Caught up now.
Otherwise, you're going to hate us later.
we even say that, right? Caught up now. Catch up now. Like, right
My
now.
bad.
As soon as you finish
Get
this fucking
caught.
podcast, I don't care how many people watch this. If it gets 5 views, 5 to 10 viewers, whoever going to watch this, catch up.
You go freaking watch My Hero Academia
Like,
right now.
right now, dude. Catch up. Fuck. Like, because shit's about to drop on the next podcast for this My Hero Academia. I say Academia. I don't know why. That's just how I say it. Academia review, dogs. Thanks for watching. You want to say anything before we go, Shalico?
Y'all guys have a good day, good time. See y'all later.
Peace, love.